Hello everyone! Today I have for you another exciting recipe that many of you ask about, and today I will show you how to make potato dumplings filled with plums. I have another recipe for fruit dumplings which uses regular yeast dough, but for the regular yeast dough I would use apricots, strawberries, blueberries, but for potato dumplings, in my family at least, we would traditionally use just plums. Topped with poppy seeds topping. That would be the traditional meal. It's funny because in my family we would call these koláčky, like a small koláče, which I don't know why, but they are round, they should be small. So today I will show you how you can make them yourself. You will need potatoes, and I recommend that you let them cook a day before, because you need to use potatoes that are completely cooled off. So that's the hardest time to wait for them to cool off, so this way when you want to make them, they are already cold if you make them a day ahead. So this is 1.7 pounds of potatoes. Then we will need 1 3/4 of a cup Vondra flour. In the US we would use Vondra, but currently I am in the Czech Republic, so here I have what's called hrubá mouka, hrubá flour, which is the coarsest flour we have of the wheat white flour. It's just regular flour, but it's the coarseness that matter. So if you want to know what other flours, other coarse flours I recommend, you can just click on the link in the description under the YouTube video. That will take you straight to my website. And in the tips, I will show you what other flours you can use in your nation, at least the ones I know of. Then we will need 2 eggs, half a teaspoon salt, and here I have plums. You would use what in US are called Italian plums. These are actually pretty large. So here I have 1.1 pounds of plums. Here is, for example, a small one. So if you can find the small ones, then you would use 16 of them, because this recipe makes 16 dumplings. Traditional topping is poppy seed topping. So here I have 1.5 cups whole poppy seeds, 1 cup powdered sugar, and 6 tablespoons of butter, which we will melt and then pour it over this amazing meal. So let's start. In my recipes, I'm always into details, and I cannot assume that everybody knows how to cook potatoes. So you take potatoes, you wash them, you put them in the large pot, and then pour water over them so they are completely submerged. You put the lid on, cracked for the steam to escape. You let them bring to boil. And then as soon as they start boiling, it takes about half an hour until they are done. It depends on the size of potatoes, so I have different sizes here. But set up timer for half an hour of a gentle boil. And then in half an hour, poke it with a fork. And if the fork easily comes off, then they are done. If not, then just cook it for longer. Before we peel the potatoes, first we need to take care of the plums. So you need to wash them, which I already did, and now you need to get the pit out, but try to not cut them all the way, because you try to keep the shape whole, because this way when the plum is smaller, you can just put the whole plum in there, but the large ones I will of course cut. This way you can put it in a strainer, and the plums will have time to dry up some. The plums are sliced and the pit is removed, so now you can just let them sit here in the colander or strainer and let them dry up. Now we need to peel potatoes, so just take a knife and peel the skin off. And also I like to take these little imperfections out. Potatoes are peeled, so let's set them aside. And what I like to do is right now to grind these poppy seeds. This is 1.5 cups. And if you don't have a grinder, what works really well is a coffee grinder. This is a grinder that I use on spices or poppy seeds, but not for coffee, because that would give a weird flavor. but just do smaller portions because you won't fit all of it. And I have prepared some bowl where I will put the poppy seeds when they are ready. So let's do this. Let's see. It's already slowing it down, so I think just a little more and it's done. Yeah, definitely slow down now. So as you see, here they are. See, works perfect. And I will also get everything out before I put the new batch in. Of course, using a poppy seed grinder, it will make it not as loose, but I know many of you don't have it, so this is a good substitute. It works well. And when you put it in, the poppy seeds have oil in them, so that's why the process of grinding stopped or paused or slowed down, and that's due to the oil that starts to clump up. So that's when you know that it's done. It can create in a grinder some clumps, so just kind of go like that to break them, especially on the bottom of the grinder. And now we will be adding 1 cup of powdered sugar, and let me explain. Everybody prefers it differently. Some prefers it more sweet, some less sweet. So you can start with less and just add more as you wish. This is 1 cup, and that's actually the only sugar that is in the whole recipe. And the plums can be sour sometimes. So the topping is what needs to be sweet enough. You can also use a strainer and just push it through the strainer to avoid these large chunks of powdered sugar before you add it, but that's fine. I just mix it in. Okay, so the topping is done, and now we can set it aside and we can finally work on our dumplings. And I have here amazing wooden board, but you can also use clean counter. I will be using for the potatoes this potato ricer. But if you don't have that, you can also use a grater and just use this side and just grate the potatoes onto a board. So I cut the potatoes into a smaller. This way it's just easier for me to press it. And now I just press it. And here it goes. I'll peel this and put it back in there, so I can use all of it. And now I'm using 1.7 pounds potatoes. They are cooked day before, and when you cook them and they are cooled off, you can store them in the fridge, and then next day you can easily use them. Now this might start to fall down, so I just peeled it and put it back to smush it. After a nice potato workout, I have a pile of potatoes. And now we'll be adding more ingredients. So let's add half a teaspoon salt. Now we'll be adding eggs. And I'm just putting little center here for the eggs to go in. We'll be using 2 eggs. And last we will be using 1 3/4 cups flour. This is the coarse Wonder flour or hruba flour. We might need more. It depends on how moist potatoes are, but I always have extra flour here just in case. And now we will create a soft dough out of it. So I just washed my hands, and now let's work with this. Now the goal is to connect it into a dough. Get in there. I'll put a little bit of flour here in the corner. So when you keep working with it, you can feel it's still a little sticky. So I will add some more flour, just a little bit, and try to already shape it into like a long dumpling. This looks perfect. So now we will need to prepare our water. Here I have a pot with water, and let's add a few pinches of salt. Now let's cover it with the lid, cracked open for the steam to escape, and let's bring it to a boil. You don't have to have it on super high because it will take some time for us to make the dumplings, but the goal is when the dumplings are done, the water is already boiling and ready for us. I will use some paper towel and just kind of dry or pad dry the plums, just to have them not wet at all. I already sliced some plums into smaller pieces, and now this will make 16. So we can cut it in half and maybe set aside the half, and now let's do it into another half, and now I'll do it this way into a half and one more half. This way each half of the original dumpling log makes 8 pieces. You can even put it on a scale and just divide it if you want to have it exactly the same, but I don't mind. This is good. So I will first work with these 8. So I'll add more flour onto board. And now you just try to flatten it. Don't let the dough sit too long because the potatoes will release moisture and it would start to be too wet and too sticky. So work with it as soon as possible. You don't want to have it super thin because we don't want to make a hole in it. I grabbed the smaller one, so I will use the whole plum. Some people, if the plums are a bit sour, would put the sugar in there. I don't mind. For me the topping is enough, so try it and next time maybe add sugar, because that's what I do with the fruit dumplings. Into each dumpling I do add sugar. So now we will be closing it. Even this is quite a large dumpling. Growing up, we would have smaller plums only. These days, the plums are just so big. And now you can just round it up. And here is a first dumpling. When it sticks, you just put more flour on. Kind of flatten it to be all the same and feel it in my hands. And of course, it's much easier if you have a one round plum, small one, to close it than to have these 3 random looking pieces. But it will work. You can just do less plums if you don't feel comfortable that you'll be able to close them. But it's not that difficult. Here you see it's showing a little bit. That means it's too thin, so I will just add more dough here. Also when I cut it, it kind of make it a little wet. I'll just pat it dry also the cuts, because this way I don't want to have it too juicy. And these are really ripe, so that's why they are extra juicy. If the water starts to boil too soon, just put it on a gentle boil and wait for the dumplings to be done. Here they are, all 16 of them. So here is the pot with boiling water. Here is a tiny pot with 6 tablespoons of butter, unsalted butter, which I will melt right now. Just I will leave it on very slow flame or low flame. And as soon as it melts, then I will turn it off. This way it's ready for the topping. Here I have a big bowl with the lid where I will put the ready dumplings. So I'll remove the lid. And now I will put as many as they will fit in. Make sure you have plenty of water. And the boil will slow down now, so raise the heat. And since I have 16, I'll put 8 here and 8 there. Now let's unstuck them from the bottom. First let's raise the heat. And now they will wanna stuck to the bottom. So just make sure they're not stuck. Let's bring it to boil, and I will set up the timer now for 10 minutes. Some people say as soon as the dumplings float to the surface, take them out, they are ready. I like to make sure they are really well cooked, so I let them boil for 10 minutes. And as soon as they start to boil, which they are now going, I will lower the flame to a gentle boil. And the butter is almost ready, being melted. I will turn it off, the butter now. The amount of butter is also very general. If you prefer more butter, you can just add more or less butter. It's really up to your preference. It's been 5 minutes of boiling and they start to float. But like I said, just leave them 5 more minutes, total of 10. This way, for sure they will be done. 10 minutes is done and they're nicely floating. So I will just remove them one by one and put it into a bowl, or you can have some baking tray or something where you can put the lid on. So I'll put a lid on top and let's add the remaining 8 dumplings. I will raise the heat again. 10 minutes is done, so I will turn it off. And I will actually get 4 on my plate. So 4 is on my plate, and then the rest I add it to the bowl. And I will cover it up. And now I will show you how to top it off. So it depends how much poppy seed mixture you like. I like a lot. So I'm counting that this is 4 servings. If each person gets 4 dumplings. And now I'll pour some butter on. I think this looks good, and now it's ready to be served. So the meal is ready and I cannot wait to try it, but I wanted to tell you, if you don't end up eating them all in like few days, you can easily, after they are cooled off, the way that they are boiled, you can put them in a Ziploc bags and put them in a freezer. This way you can then just let them thaw, or you can just put them out of the freezer and put them into a steamer and just warm them up. If they are frozen completely, it will take longer. So I recommend let them thaw maybe in a fridge or on a counter and then warm them up. So I cannot wait now to try it. So, oh wow, it just exploded. So juicy. And I like to dip it into the poppy seeds and the butter. Oh my goodness. I'll get some more of the plum. It's juicy. This is so good. The sweetness to me is perfect because these plums, we had them for a while in the fridge, so they are super ripe, which makes them even sweeter. So they are so good, and that's why they exploded, because they're really juicy. I love the taste. The topping to me is sweet enough. It works well, but as I mentioned before, if it wouldn't be too sweet for you or sweet enough, you can just sprinkle more powdered sugar on the top. The potato dough is so soft. Now the combination of the sweet, warm plum, and then the topping with the butter, the poppy seeds, it's heavenly. It's serious, so good. So I hope that I don't have like poppy seeds all over, probably in my teeth. So that's fun. If you like this video, make sure to put thumbs up. You can also subscribe, hit the bell button so you can get notified when I have new video. You can also follow me, Czech Cookbook, on social media. The Facebook is the biggest social platform that I have. I also do Facebook Live. I share every day. So it's a super fun community. People all over the world, and I send you many greetings, currently in the Czech Republic. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Time to eat, and you be well, you be safe. Bye guys.